Every year, NBA 2K finds a way to ruin shooting, and that makes no sense to me because the things we need to make shooting great are so simple. It should never be an issue. So I'm about to share how 2K can make shooting great permanently, and to be honest, I shouldn't even have to say this because I feel like it's common sense, but let's address it anyway. So step one to make 2K shooting great every single year. There needs to be a pure green window. A pure green window, which means when you are shooting, especially specifically open shots, there should always be a window in which you can green your shot. There should always be a window. If I am wide open, there should be a pure green window. And on top of that, you should not be able to make whites in the game. You need to take it out completely. There's no making whites. There's just a pure green window. If you green your shot, it's going. It's green or miss. That's it. If I'm open, I have a pure green window. And I want y'all to understand that when I say having a pure green window, it's for every build in the game. For every build. I don't care what your rating is. Now hear me out. If you're frustrated, if you're mad about what I just said, we're gonna get to the ratings and the penalties that you should be enduring for the ratings and stuff like that. But there should always be a pure green window. Now, with the green window being there, it should go up or down with your rating, right? So I'm gonna give you an example. If somebody is a pure sharpshooter, right? They got a 99 three-pointer, they should have the biggest green window out of anybody in the game. It should be almost ridiculously easy for you to green threes because what I'm putting points on my 3-point rating for a reason, right? I'm putting points on it so it is easier for me to make threes. That is literally the point of it. It is easier for me to make threes than somebody with a 73 pointer. So with that being said, my rating should matter. That rating should just always matter, bro. So if I got a 99 3, it should be good. If I got a 25 3, it should be bad. Now, like I said, every build should have a pure green window when open, specifically when open. Listen to that carefully, right? So if there's a 25 3-point guy with a pure green window, the pure green window just gotta be low. That's it. It just gotta be so small, so insignificant that, to be honest, you'd have to be a god to make that three. And if you make it, if you green it, I cannot be mad that you just made it. You just proved to me that you're just that skilled at timing your shot, or you got lucky. It don't matter. But if you're constantly hitting threes with a 25 3-point build or whatever the case may be, then you're literally a god, bro. Now, I know this is gonna come up with the cheaters. Well, if you do that, then cheaters are gonna be able to make shots, blah, blah, with Zens. We're gonna get into all that, right? But let's move on, right? So the green window should shrink with contests and disappear depending on your 3-point rating, right? So I said they should only be there if you were wide open. Now, if you're a build with a high 3-point rating, I have a different opinion on that. But if you're not a build with a high 3-point rating, you should not have a pure green window if you're being contested, basically, right? So if you have a 25 3-pointer and you can usually hit your threes and somebody's contesting your three, no, there shouldn't be a pure green window. You can't make that. You didn't put the attribute points into your player in order for him to have a pure green window. It's done. You're out of the game, right? Now, depending on your rating, right? The type of contest, whether it's heavy, light, moderate, whatever the case may be, should change whether or not you still have a pure green window. And then if you're a build with a high enough 3-pointer that you still get a pure green window during a contest, then it should shrink that window. It should just be smaller. It should make it harder to green, but you should still be able to green it if you have a high enough 3. If you have a low 3, it should just disappear completely, right? Now that brings me into my point where I was gonna say high shooting ratings should always have a green window. Now, they need to pick a threshold for that though, right? So let's say the threshold is a 93-point rating, or if you want to take it further, 92, 95, whatever. The community needs to agree on that. But the point is, if you have a high 3-point rating, if I'm Stephen Curry and I got a 99 3-point rating, I don't care if you give me a super smothered contest. I should always be able to have a green window as long as I'm past half court and within decent range, regular limitless range threes and stuff like that, not full court green windows. But I'm Stephen Curry, bro. So when you give me a super heavy contest, my green window should probably shrink to the size of the person that has a 25 three-pointer, or it just depends. You just choose the thresholds. Now, these are numbers, these are specifics, these are things that fans could debate about or whatever players could debate about. But the point is, pick a threshold to where it don't matter what the contest is, you'll be able to hit the three, because your rating needs to matter. I'm tired of ratings not mattering. Your rating needs to matter, and you need to have a specific type of advantage for putting so much points into that specific rating. Now, you need to pick a baseline for the max green window and the smallest green window. This will determine the shooting difficulty for the entire game, right? So this will determine if shooting is hard for everybody or if shooting is easy for everyone. When I say pick a baseline for the max green window and the smallest green window, I literally mean if you have a person with a 99 three-pointer, you need to pick how big is that green window going to be? How big is that green window going to be? Now, from that point, when the rating gets lower, the green window gets smaller. You got a 97, your green window is smaller than person with a 99. It gradually gets smaller and smaller and smaller, all the way down to the lowest 3-point rating. Now, once you select that baseline, this is gonna select the difficulty, right? Now, if the baseline is at a point, let's say where 100 milliseconds, I don't know what the good ratings are, but say 100 milliseconds is the green window baseline for the 99 3-point build, right? So by the time you get to the 25 3-point build, it's like minus 70 or something like that. I don't know, I ain't about to do the math right now. But say they got 25 milliseconds to green the shot. So 25 milliseconds if you got a 25 3-pointer, and then, I said the first one, 100 milliseconds window if you got a 99 3-pointer. If people think that's too easy, then you need to change the baseline to the point where the guy with the 99 three-pointer has a 75 millisecond window. And then, then by default, that will lower the green window of the person with the 25. So that'll bring them down to 5 milliseconds or whatever. Point is, you need to move it to where the ratings will always change the same amount. Like the ratings will always show how drastically the change is, but you just need a baseline as to how big the green window could get for the high 3-point builds and the low 3-point builds. That was kind of hard to explain. If you understand it, I'm glad you did, because that was messing me up. I ain't gonna lie. Now, the next thing they need to do is make every jump shot animation viable. I think it's ridiculous that in 2K, you have to pick a specific base, a specific release. You got to go to 2K Labs to see what has the best green window. There should not be a specific jump shot type or animation or anything that has a bigger green window than other builds. The only thing that should determine your green window is your rating. If I have a 95 3-point rating, it don't matter if I'm using Zach LaVine, Aaron Gordon, Stephen Curry, LeBron James, Kyrie Irving. It don't matter what jump shot. My green window should be the same as your green window. I think it's so ridiculous that I have to pick a specific base. So I can't pick a shot because I like the way it looks because it has a smaller green window than that shot over there. No, make sure that you could pick whatever jump shot you want to pick and the green window is always going to be the same. That's it. Now, after that, do not change our shot animations just for the sake of it. I know that Mike Wang had said when he was trying to combat cheaters that he doesn't want us to have our jump shot in our memory. He doesn't want muscle memory. He doesn't want us shooting off of muscle memory so we could just green every shot, blah, blah. So at certain points, you would shoot the ball and you think you know your shot, but then they change the animation, so then you don't green it. He was like, you should be shooting based off of the visual cues, not based off of muscle memory. One thing I think Mike Wang is forgetting is that we're playing an online video game. Not everybody has the perfect connection, which means the visual cue might not always be accurate. It might not always be good. We do have to rely on our muscle memory to get us through it. Some guy might be used to his lag and have the muscle memory to know where he has to release during the lag in his shot or the delay in his game in order to green it. Now that you've taken that away and I have to shoot it just based off of the visual cue, which changes, it's going to ruin the whole experience. You should not have it like that. I think personally for cheaters, you just gotta find another way, bro. You gotta find another way. I don't know entirely what it is, but the fact that we letting these cheaters exist and ruin the game for everybody and they still exist, that's the thing. We don't We don't do these fixes and the cheaters are gone. We do these fixes and the cheaters are still here. It don't work. So get that change out the game. Let people get their muscle memory for their shot. Stop trying to mess us up intentionally, Mike Wang. Now, if all of these things are applied and we achieve everything, once you get all the basic needs of shooting, please, everybody stop complaining. If you complain too much about something, once we get all these things on the list, these are simple concepts, Mike Wang is going to change something again. Just like how he wants us to not be able to get the shot off of muscle memory. Too many people complain, then he's gonna change it back, so we gotta get a different shot every time we shoot the ball. I don't like that. I don't like that. Please, guys, we have to stand together. That's one thing I've said about the 2K community, and they don't want to hear me, they want to argue with me. If you want a good game, you got to stand together on what the good game looks like. And I think part of the problem is that a lot of people don't agree on what a good game looks like. And I get it. Not everybody can agree with everything. But come on, if y'all don't stand together and there's a billion people all giving Mike Wang different suggestions, he got to pick one. You cannot please everybody. So what we have to do is stand collectively on a topic, on a subject, on gameplay, and we just got to make sure that we're fine with each other. If we can do that and stand together, we can get a better game. Now, that's going to be it for the video, guys. If you did enjoy it, please make sure you like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. This is J Athletic Gaming, and I'll catch you on the next one.